Welcome to The Perspective. Today, we're going to be talking about that subject that seems to be like a wet blanket all over our country and countries around the world. We want to be able to part that blanket and let the sun shine in. What am I talking about? The whole subject of mental health. And many people find it's something you just want to ignore, to run from. Others are saying, where can I find help? Who do I turn to? And so who I turn to is Allan and Bonnie Gallant with Agora Network Ministries. Have been on this show many times, but not for a while. Just want to welcome you guys back.
Thank you. Yeah, it's good to be back.
You look fantastic, like you've been in the sun.
We have been, and I won't tell you how long, but we've been enjoying the sun.
Yeah, we're back real.
Good for mental health, isn't it?
Completely. It just recharged us.
Explain why.
Just the sunshine alone. I don't want to say a sun goddess, but kind of like I like the sun, maybe too much, and thus the wrinkles. But anyway, for me personally, being in the sun just rejuvenates me, and I'm ready to go. And
Well, it also has vitamin D, and that's what we need to help our mental health. In Canada, in the wintertime, we don't get enough vitamin D. So that's why many people go south and fill up with vitamin D.
So let's talk about the many people who can't go south.
oops.
You mean you work for a living?
Yes. Oh, okay. Anyways, I'm trying to do the perspective to help people along with other things.
Yes.
You folks have had an incredible story, and a lot of times you've given me the short version of the story.
Right.
Right. Mental health journey. I'm going to ask someone far more beautiful than you to do that. Bonnie, tell us the story. What happened to you guys? Try to do it in a minute, because then I'm going to talk about the need for more than vitamin D. And for the rest of us, at times, listen, we all need to get away and take a break. I get that. Or just having some fun to you today.
Yeah.
But in those moments where you feel like you can't even get out of bed, what do you do? And I want people to know they can identify with you usually. Tell us your story.
Well, I guess our story starts almost 8 years ago now. The condensed version is Allan had a stroke. After the stroke, had a mental health breakdown. And during his mental health breakdown, we really didn't know what to do or who to turn to, because we've always been in ministry. And
You passed it for like over 30.
over 30 years.
That's over forever.
Yeah, feels that way. So we naturally went to the church for help. And the cliche was, read your Bible more, pray more, and you'll be okay. And we were doing that. We were doing everything possible. But he wasn't okay. And long story short, Allan ended up in a mental health institute or hospital for 10 days.
I like that word better.
Hospital is better than an institute. And that started our journey. And prior to that, to be honest with you, Mike, even being in ministry, mental health wasn't even on our radar. It wasn't even something we entertained. It was kind of like that happened to other people, but then it happened to us. And then we had to learn how to navigate through this, how to journey through it. And it isn't something that just showed up 8 years ago. It is still every day of looking after ourselves, or Allan learning, or us together. Oh, I call it learning the dance. Me understanding when days are not good for Al, when days are not good for me even. So
Go
I
ahead.
was going to say, so actually we have learned through this journey of taking time for ourselves. And one way for us to feel recharged and ready to go again is getting away. And so that vitamin D was awesome. We didn't take our pills, our vitamin D pills. We sat in the sun instead.
Oh, that's cool. Allan, I want you to take it the next step further, because some neat things have happened in your life. And out of the midst of what feels like a train wreck, God has birthed a ministry called Agora Network Ministries. And you guys are passionate about helping.
Yeah. And we are, because the church was a part of our lives forever. We started young in ministry, and so I love the church. So when this happened to me, to us, we felt it was important for us to impact and invest our time with church leaders and faith leaders and congregations to really help them understand that mental health is a real struggle. And it is for leaders, and it is for many that sit in the pews every Sunday or come to our churches for the programs every week. So, so Agora was started back in 2019 after we've been praying and asking God what's next after the stroke and the mental health breakdown. And He showed us very clearly through many different avenues that we need to be spokesperson. As you know, and maybe the listeners know, that my voice was gone. I could talk after the stroke. But when God gave me my voice back, I keep saying that He took away my voice, gave me a new voice to be a voice for those that don't have a voice. And that's a part of the stigma of mental health.
That's quite an expression that you just said. I'm not glad I can repeat it. I don't think I have the voice to say it, but it was excellent.
Yeah.
Where we're going to go today, what I shared with you is that I want to talk about mental health and men and women. I want to talk about what is the difference, not between the guys and the girls, but how we handle mental health.
Yeah.
So before I choke to death, I say it takes someone to breathe. Is there a difference, first of all? And then secondly, what is the difference? So I'm going to start with you.
Al and I have talked about that, and at first we thought the answer was there really is no difference. And I think in a nutshell, there really isn't any difference in the fact that women and men both suffer with keeping ourselves mentally healthy or can suffer with a mental illness. And obviously the two are completely different. But we are the same when it comes to anxiety or depression and those kind of mental health struggles that are out there. But I said to my husband, I think for women, it's different. We're so hormonally based that we know that there's, I'll be frank, times of the month that we're probably off the wall, and some women are, and there really are disorders for that. And I'm saying that very gently because I don't want any women to get mad at me. I see that. You're that really well. You are a dad of 5 girls, so you get it, and you have a wife, and we have 2 daughters. You know, that alone women struggle with. Not only that, is even after childbirth, there's, postpartum depression. And that is real. And that was something that I struggled with after one of our children was born. It was like, I didn't want to be around anyone. I just wanted to hold my baby and be completely alone and not let anyone look at him. And so I had very mild, but there's some women that they're on the brink of
And we don't understand it.
no, men don't understand. They don't get, women don't, we don't get it. Why am I feeling this way? I was happy one minute, now I'm not doing so good. And so hormones really have a big thing to play. And I know men have hormones and all that too, but I think statistically, it's more women who would suffer with those kinds of things. So having a kind and gentle and understanding husband through that certainly can help navigate. Yeah, I did.
Allan, what about guys?
Yeah, guys.
It's not try to mask things if you want my 2 cents, and you're getting it anyways.
No,
We try to pretend we got it all together.
you're absolutely right. So women, they live in the realm of their feelings. Men push their feelings away. I did for years. I didn't want to talk about how I was feeling. So men hide. We hide our feelings. So, you can ask me the question, how are you doing today? Now, because of our friendship, I will tell you how I'm doing. But many people that ask me how I'm doing, if I don't have a relationship, I'll say, I'm fine. But inside I might not be. But the big difference is women will talk about it and men will run away and hide and wear the mask.
For sure. And I think for a man to even start that conversation could be a sign of weakness. And men
The
want
great
to be the
stigma of mental health and men.
strong warrior.
Or with their wife.
Yeah, completely.
You want to try to hold it all together.
Well, you know what, Mike? We still battle with that because after Allan's mental health struggles. A couple of years later, I journeyed my own. And so we walked through that together. And Allan we still go through cycles of him not doing well. And he'll get on the other side of it. And then he'll share with me, I've had some really bad days. And yeah, so he.
But now,
Go back and talk about those bad
okay.
days in just a moment. You're watching The Perspective right now, and if at any time you'd like to talk to somebody, I want to invite you to call our toll-free number, 855-910-6297. And when we come back after the break, I'm going to let you know how you can get in touch with Allan and Bonnie through Agora Network Ministers. Hey, welcome back to The Perspective. And as we're talking about mental health, all of us want to be whole. We want to be strong. And that's why we've created this resource. It's a tool for you. We want to make it available to you free of charge for your first coffee. And in the rest of the copies, we encourage you to make a donation to our ministry to help support us because all these things cost. But if you write to us at the website below, theperspective.tv, we will send you a daily Bible reading and prayer that can help you grow in your journey with Christ so you can remain strong. Being in God's Word, knowing His promises are key, and we want to let you know about that today. And Allan and Bonnie, there are many things in their journey of mental health. We talk about a daily discipline to stay strong and well. Talk to us about that just for a moment.
Well, exercise, eating right, trying to sleep well, screen time, make sure it's not a long time. I think having a good discipline in the Word of God and prayer, all of those things help to stay strong mentally. The downside is that we're so busy that we seldom walk in those disciplines. And people that are then not doing well, sometimes it's because they are not tracking their time well. So I think those are things that we really have to put our mind to if we're going to stay mentally strong and, get away for a little while. I think that we have a lot of workaholics in our world, and they don't break, they don't stop, and they need to do that as well.
You talked about getting away, just a little side right back to you, Bonnie. But I just came back actually early this morning,
Right.
ministering in another country. And really, it was surrounded by poverty, and even the leaders did not have much.
Right.
But they talked about how, in the most simplest way, to try to get away for a cup of coffee together, to do something where they would separate
Right.
themselves from
Yeah.
the pressure of life
Yeah.
and just to talk husband to wife. And that was so important.
Yeah.
I started back yesterday from being away, and when I went home, Bonnie called me and I said, I'm going to go home and I'm going to go for a walk. And she said, are you okay? I said, yeah, but the stress of the day, we need to unpack that or unleash that stress because our bodies keep it. So when you go for a walk, it helped me. Yeah. She came home to a nice guy.
Yeah, that's always a bonus. I was listening actually to a podcast while we were away, and it was so simple. And it was, we forget how to play.
Yeah.
And I thought, play? Like, you think of a playground and that kind of stuff. But I think, what is it that recharges us or make us feel that childhood feeling again where there's no worries, no stress? What is your play? So this podcast I listened to had, kind of broke down to different characteristics of who you might be or how you fit in and what is your play. And your play could be as simple as knitting or reading a book or baking or decorating or some of those things. And it's just taking that time to play, to fill your cup. And it's okay to play.
You have a big conference coming up,
We do.
and it's for women.
Yes, it's for women.
Men are not allowed.
Not allowed. Allan wanted to come, and I said, absolutely not. So this is our first time. We are expanding as Agora, and we know that women need connection. And we're all about connecting. And actually, we're learning that women need real hope. We want real stories and real resources to help us. And so our conference is called Cultivate. And we came up with that name, and that's the name we're going to use yearly as we are able to do our conference, because we want to cultivate space, safety, room for growth, room for forgiveness, room for healing. So that is the idea of our Cultivate conference. So we're really excited. I am a little nervous. We've been asking God for 150 people. We are right now at 114, not counting who is part of it. So we're pretty close to 150 already. And well, we're kind of hoping that. And we're also all through social media platforms. You can find it. So Cultivate Conference. So it's May 2nd to 3rd.
That's fantastic. What are you doing for guys?
Nothing right now.
You have your golf tournament.
Well, we do have our golf tournament coming up in June.
There's more to talk about your ministry.
Yeah.
Help to develop and expand. And tell me what you're doing in churches right now. You offer so many things to churches. One of the things is, would you call it suicide prevention?
Awareness. So we have one of the guys on our staff that shares a seminar with suicide awareness, and so we have developed a handouts for the church, and also to share how to recognize when someone's in trouble. I talked to a youth pastor this week, and he was talking to me about a situation, and so I asked him some questions. But what will you do, or how would you handle this? And he didn't know. And so, we have different seminars that we can offer. One of the things that we're really passionate about right now, we have an on-demand building resilience course. So people can buy the course. It's a 6-week or 6-session course. It's something that we're very excited about, and we're hoping that a lot of people will buy into this, and churches like North End Church.
Well, I'm excited by that. I mean, we've already reaped the benefit. And if I could put a plug out to churches to connect with you and take advantage of the incredible resources that are there.
Thank you.
We only have a minute left. I want to ask you a hard question.
Oh, dear.
What would you say as a caregiver when Allan crashed and burned and went through a terrible time? What would you say to people who are the support network for people struggling with mental health?
It's okay to ask for help.
You need to ask for help.
Yes, the caregiver. It's kind of like, being in an airplane. They tell you to put your own mask on first before you can help somebody else. You can't help someone else if your tank is empty. It's a lot of work to caregive for someone through mental health or physical health, whatever it may be as that journey. So take the time to look after yourself. It's not wrong. Have that community around you that you need for your support. And I think it just helps you then to be a better support for the one that's going through.
And of course, sign up for your conference.
Absolutely, Mike.